We're talking about coastal tourism in Nigeria. Of course, we're going to make reference to the 700 kilometers coastal highway, Lagos to Calabar, right? And I would like to know your thoughts. We're in the maritime space. We're talking about blue economy, sustainable development, and all that. And of course, I think coastal tourism is something maybe new to Nigeria, maybe new.
Maritime tourism that is going to start happening along the thing, something that is going to open up our maritime space. And Nigerian maritime space is going to be of an advantageous position after this project, at the conclusion of the project. When you start talking about coastal, you now start wanting to think about what the cabotage will benefit from this, which is
Yes.
actually about the coastal and inland trade. For now, people will be facing the challenges of how to deal with the construction. But at the end of the day, the country will be at a very good state in having that kind of project.
Welcome to another edition of NIMASA podcasts. I have in the studio today my colleague and my friend, Engineer Ganiyu Alayaki, and we'll be talking about coastal tourism in Nigeria. Of course, we're going to make reference to the 700 kilometers coastal highway, Lagos to Calabar, right? And I would like to know your thoughts. What's the importance of this to the economy generally? What do
Thank you
think?
once again for having me, Femi. I know a lot of people have their challenges about, their opinions about the coastal road. But being in the sector, you understand that this is a new thing, something that is going to open up our maritime space, And at the end of the day, it's going to be of a very big economic benefit for the whole country. You're talking about a renewed maritime tourism that is going to start happening along the coastal road. And, the stretch of the road from Lagos
700
to
kilometers.
Calabar, it's something
That's huge, right?
that is very, very huge. And it's something the South has not witnessed in the past. And I'm very sure at the end of the project, it's going to be like a teething phase where people will be reconstruction and, I know the
So that
government
affects so many people's property,
affects so many
houses and all that.
people, properties and everything. So for now, people will be facing the challenges of how to deal with the construction. But at the end of the day, the country will be at a very good state in having that kind of project, see the light of the day.
Yes, it's good, right? Okay, so we hope that the project sees the end of this administration, right? That they complete it before the end of the administration. But now we're in the maritime space. We're talking about blue economy, sustainable development, and all that. And of course, I think coastal tourism is something maybe new to Nigeria, maybe new to Nigeria.
In the US and all the developed climes, that there are so many, would I say, estates, habitats that are very close to the sea. So it opens up the entire stretch of the road. So, like I said, there's something we've not harnessed in this country: coastal tourism. It's not as if it's not happening, but we've only been going to beaches. But it's going to get to a new level where people now start understanding how to engage, how to leverage on these opportunities on the project. And I think nobody, you might have your opinion about what's happening right now, positive or negative, but nobody at the end of the day, when this project comes to life, nobody would say it's something bad that the government has put effort in something very, very wrong. And infrastructure, you can never miss it with infrastructure. And Nigerian maritime space is going to be of an advantageous position after this project, at the conclusion of the project, because you can't just imagine the development that would go in.
But I was talking about it being quite expensive. Okay, nowadays, for example, you go to hotels, maybe travel abroad, you have hotels, some are by the seaside, some are on the land, area, right? And those by the seaside are more expensive, right? So
Thank you for even reminding. Hospitality business will now start.
That's what I was talking
growing
about,
in
developers.
that
Yes,
environment.
exactly.
So people want to live where they can view what nature has to offer, and this project is going to bring that to limelight again. It's something new, and at the end of the day, I've said the maritime business will thrive. Not only maritime business, developers, new estates, new frontiers will be opened at the end of the day in that axis. And I'm just hopeful. I'm prayerful that I'll be part of those that witness what's going to happen there.
But when you still talk about this coastal tourism, because it's something new to us, right? Relatively new, so because of course I know we have all various kind of tourism in the coastal areas in
I
Nigeria,
won't.
but
Sometimes I don't want to agree that it's
that's
relatively
why I said
new.
relatively new because we have some other maybe some beach resorts that are close to the
Yeah,
water
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that, but probably have not gone full blown. Why I'm saying that because in the context of the blue economy, right, where you talk about sustainable development, we have tourism, we have aquaculture, you have the fisheries, and all sorts of various subsectors in the blue economy, right? So now talking about this kind of arrangement from Lagos to Calabar, that's 700 kilometers. That's a whole
Yes,
lot, right?
a whole lot.
A
The
whole lot,
stretch
right?
is
Now you have
huge.
to you have to factor in security, right? So
So
where does that come in? And
So
where does NIMASA
you
also
know
come in?
when this is a kind of project that is purpose built, and regulations will come in. Every aspect, every subsector will be taken care of. So it's not just building the road that is so important to the government. I know that at the back of at the mind of the federal government, they are thinking about what the economic businesses that will thrive at the
And
environment.
they
And
will
you
build,
cannot
yeah.
have your economy boom without providing security and
Certainly,
all
probably say
other
yes.
ancillaries that will ensure that the place remain open for business.
Okay, okay, so for the sake of the listening public, right, this project Lagos to Calabar, is it strictly federal government or is it a PPP arrangement? That's public-private partnership.
I read it's a PPP arrangement,
Because
and
you and I know that government has no business doing business,
so I
so
read it's a PPP arrangement, and
which
I
is
like
better
that
because you can be sure of
you can be
the.
sure of the maintenance and everything. So if it's a PPP arrangement, it means that the maintenance and the road will be very very good because you have everybody wanting to do what's necessary at the particular time, and maybe it's a kind of I'm sure the government will do the best arrangement that will ensure that it doesn't fall back to some of the roads we've heard about in the past.
So I
So
think the entire Nigeria will benefit from it. Everyone
no,
will absolutely benefit
absolutely,
from it.
absolutely.
But it's a long-term project. So how long do you wait to start reaping from the benefits of these projects?
Yeah, the project has a timeline, and I hope that the government is able to, conclude it within the timeline that has been set out to conclude. You understand? So it's not about how do you say it, how far, but how
How
well.
well?
And people that have visited the road have said,
The road
this
it's good.
it's a fantastic site to even see at the
Is it
inception.
concrete or asphalt? What did
No,
they
I heard
use?
is total concrete.
Total concrete, that means it's
Yeah,
going to last longer.
longer.
Maybe
So
15, 30 years or thereabouts.
or more than
Or more than that. And
so
so,
it should outlive everybody.
oh, you think so?
I think so. With proper maintenance, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's,
All right. So on the whole now, so what do you have to say to the public about this project for them to buy into it? What to say to them? Because already from our conversations now, we can see that every sector or subsector of the economy are going to benefit from it, right? So what do you have to say to the public?
like I told you, everyone has their opinion about the project. And like every government policy, everyone has an opinion. But when you see the effectiveness and efficiency of the project, everybody at the end of the day will fall in and will key into the project. So let's just keep watching, keep ensuring that things are done in the proper way. And you need not to start telling people it's a good project because the project will actually sell itself. So I'm not going to stand there, sit here and start saying it's a good project. But I assure you that if it comes the way the government has projected, no Nigerian will say anything negative about the project.
So thank you very much, Mr. Ganiyu. Sorry, Engineer Ganiyu. You were speaking as a politician. You are assuring the public.
I'm
Well,
not. I'm just saying
because you are speaking as a
what
politician.
my
You
opinion.
understand? So it's nice to have you on this program today on our
Thank you,
podcast. We'll be
Femi.
talking
Thank you,
about
Femi.
the coastal road and the 700 kilometers coastal road from Lagos to Calabar. And of course, the benefits, of course, to the entire Nigeria. It ranges from tourism, those in the confectionery businesses, those in the real estate businesses. Every sector will have something to benefit from there at the end of the day. So it's a project that we should all find a way to support, and we hope that it benefits every one of us. And then, of course, it's hopeful that while the project is ongoing, we're going to have some indirect employments, direct employments by and of course by way of creating wealth for the for the economy. and it's hopeful that it's going to bring in some more tourism, cruise ships, and all that. Like he said, you can sleep in Lagos and then wake up in Calabar and all of that. And we hope that everything's going to work together through the public-private partnership arrangement that the government has put in place. So it's a wrap on this segment of our podcast today. I've been speaking with Ganiyu Alayaki. My name is Femi Kumuyi. I remain your host. Thank you, and see you next segment.